What's going on, Jamrick? What's going on, Scotty? What's going on, Amanda? What's going on, Brescia Bear? Jake Kiros? What's going on, Sanka Lee? Cam. Okay. Alrighty, guys. We're live here at NoMagnoTrading.com. Good to have you guys on. Good to have you guys in. We're going to end the video here. We're going to go day 338. We're going to go 74.3K. We're going to go 423 on a Friday. We're going to go change this document. 74.3. Looks like that one's longer. 19. Yep. Save. Then we're going to do your channel. Mr. Catch, Alexander, Jen, Vipas, Scotty. What's going on, guys? So, we're going to say that we're live here, NoMagnoTrading.com. What's going on, guys? Hopefully you guys had a great trading day out there. Hopefully you guys have been trading well. I appreciate every single one of you guys for tuning in today. We're going to go OTC, why not? What's going on, guys? 1 second here. We're making this post quick. All right. What's going on, everybody? We had UXIN, we had, no, we don't want to do that. TKAT, we had MVIS, we had OCGN run today, and we had SYPR. Okay. All right, guys. Did he post in chat? Where did he post? Did he post student? Yeah, Jose, shout out to Ariel for sure. What's going on, Key Trend? What's going on, Ross? What's going on, Service Notes? Sadir, what's going on, guys? So, we're going to give it a couple more seconds for people to tune on in today. And, yeah. Okay. So, I wanted to get the okay from Ariel. But I now officially have my second millionaire student, Real Simple Ariel. He hit that $1 million mark today, and I couldn't be more proud. Here is his. He sent this to me earlier, just a couple minutes ago. But here's his. What do you call this? I can't even remember it. Oh crap. Trade review. So you can see your total gains, average daily gain. Here's all his stats. shout out to him, man. He worked very, very hard to get here. That, I will say, Ariel, man, if you're listening, you deserve this more than anyone, man. You put in the time and what it takes. It's really impressive to see what you're doing, man. And what I will say is that he literally takes everything in. Like, a lot of people that I see come on and they're trying to study and they're trying to learn and all that. Well, one thing that I see from Ariel that I see from most is that, first of all, this is his passion. This is his life. He got an office. Then he got a truck to get to his office because it was snowing and the snow was getting in his way from his work. So he's like, screw it, I need to get a truck so I don't have to worry about getting to my office every day. He studies people down to the T. What's going on, Diego? He studies people down to the T. And Ariel is a prime example of what it takes. So if you have any questions about how Ariel got to where he's at, feel free to message him, reach out to him. I know he gives a lot of credit to me and my course and all my YouTube streams and everything, and I appreciate that. But you have to give yourself a pat on the back, man. Like, you deserve it more than anyone. And so it feels good to get it's Jordan and now Ariel. So, and then I have a guy named his name's actually Cameron. I haven't verified that he hit that mil mark, so I think I have 3 millionaire students now. But 2 fully verified between Ariel and Jordan. And so, guys, I'm glad to see that I can inspire. I'm glad to see that I can motivate. I'm glad to see that I can help you guys get to your realities and get to your dreams. And I'm glad that I can open up that door for a lot of you. That's why I do this. I'm here to open up doors. I'm here to create opportunity. And, I can create all opportunity you want, and I can teach all I want, and I can show you guys all my trades every day. But at the end of the day, do you think that every professional golfer, every professional athlete, every great trader, or every, whoever's good at what they do, every great weightlifter, do you think they got there from, just kind of being lazy and kind of just watching around, looking around and saying, maybe I'll get there, maybe I won't? No. The one thing about successful people in any aspect, and it doesn't always have to do with finance, it can do with a sleep doctor or a normal doctor or anything at all, right? The one thing that I see with all of them is that they're passionate, they're driven, they work hard every day. They don't need anybody to tell them to get up in the morning. They don't need anybody to tell them what to look at or what to, obviously they just want to soak up all the information, all the knowledge they can get from whatever they're doing. And that's what I recommend in trading. Soak up everything, every single word that comes out of my mouth, someone else's mouth, even the most successful traders and even some of the worst traders. You can learn from them all. But what I will tell you is, in anything, especially in trading, knowledge is power. And so, one thing I will say about Ariel is that guy, he will study me. He knows when I'm getting in and out of things. He studies me into the ground. He studies a lot of other people into the ground. He is very passionate and very motivated and studies his ass off. And, at the end of the day, guys, I want more of you guys to have this kind of opportunity, have this kind of, basically making $1 million. And you guys ask me so many questions, and I can only get back to so many because I am only one person, and there is lots and lots of you guys. But what I will say is the things that I noticed, and we're going to do a little podcast with Ariel. We did one with Jordan, now we're going to do it with Ariel. But the things that I noticed with Ariel, at least, was one, that he would study more. He would from my angle, he would study very minute things. He would study everything that he could get his hands on. He learns every single day. He shows up every single day. No one gets him up. He's very driven and very passionate about what he does. And not only that, but he likes to learn from successful traders. Not just from me, but from lots of other people. And that's what I can't harp enough is don't just learn from me. Learn from anyone else. Okay? Learn from a lot of other people. Okay? Learn from as many one as you can learn from, right? Because I'm only one person, and my strategies and process and plans might not work for you in the best ways. But you can take bits and pieces from all of it. And what worked for me is just taking bits and pieces from a lot of other people and creating my own concepts. I don't really know too many other people who trade like me, but that's just because I've taken bits and pieces from I can't even, you're probably talking hundreds of people. And it's not just successful people, it's also the people that lose. And so, I take all those bits and pieces and I kind of fine tune what I am, how I'm comfortably trading emotionally. And over time, you start to kind of build your own self, your own trader. It's fun to watch other people trade because, people can only handle so much. And you might look at it and you're like, okay, that's so obvious. But then another person's like, wait a minute, how did you even do that? And then another person's like, well, I might be able to hold on, but I couldn't hold on to it that long. I would have sold out way sooner or way later. Or, I don't know how you held through a 30% dip. Well, it's because of this data that I've seen and studied and go on and so forth. But if you're interested in NoMagNoTrading.com, click the link in the description below. We have tons of mods who create great ideas throughout every single day. You can learn from me as well. I'd like to say I create some good ideas every single day as well. But each and every trade, even if you trade from MVIS, even if you trade from UAVS, even if you traded from, what was the other one? OCGN or BGI or UXIN or BTX or whatever, even if you have those, stocks that you're looking at, you can learn from all of that. And just in one day, you learn from 5 different stocks and all the price action. Matter of fact, let's just pull it up quick. Okay? So what can you learn? Well, there's so much you can learn from a full day's price action, right? There's so much that you can learn from a multiple days price action right here, right? And then there's so much you can learn from a yearly's perspective as well from all this price action, okay? So these are where people are putting their hard-earned money, right? And so, at the end of the day, let's just say one more. So congrats to Ariel. Second millionaire student confirmed. So congrats, Ariel. You're doing great things, and just keep it up, man. You are what it takes, And if I don't get careful, you might pass me someday, and I'm gonna do my best not to let that happen. But I will say you have something special. OCGN. Okay, so this one here, guys. And another thing, by the way, trading's fun, but it can be boring. If you guys don't like to look at charts and don't like price action, this can really bore you away. And if you're getting bored, maybe it's not for you. But these type moves can change people's lives, right? This move here can change your life, long or short. It can really do that. It has liquidity, has the price range, and it's just a small move, right? Sometimes you get thousands of percentages in one day. So, it's all about just creating constant ideas, opportunities, and learning from data that you have always learned from, okay? BTX, another one, guys, 12 to 18, right? So, and this is one you can look at multiple time frames you can learn from. Why are people buying this? Why is there liquidity here? Well, you can learn from it. Another one, guys, NVIS, another runner today, right? How are you going to better prepare yourself for next time? Another runner today, guys, UXIN, right? So UXIN, we actually had at 168.5 as an overnight idea, and now it's at $2. We're all the way to 245. Hope you guys are banking. MVIS, we actually had a short idea right up in here. But, guys, all I can say is that, constant studying, constant learning from price action. After every day, you should go back and look at the top 5 or 6 big runners and just learn from it. Look at the charts. Look at the 1 minute. Look at the 5 minute. Look at the 15 minute. Go back and look at the daily or the yearly and constantly learn from every single day and just take screenshots in your brain. Or in my opinion, it's more important to take screenshots to keep them on your computer and constantly learn how patterns and news plays and offerings and sectors, whether it's Bitcoin, and how all this kind of conjoins, right? Because in the end, it's all just a big market where people are buying and selling stocks. And you're trying to have your edge so you can put yourself in a better position to create success for yourself. That's why we're all here, okay? It takes time. It took me probably about a year full-time studying. The fastest I've ever seen is probably Ariel, which, he probably spent about 4 or 5 months before becoming profitable. Maybe 6 months max. Before that, the fastest I ever saw was 6 months. So, but we're also in a day and age where this is going to become more and more popular. So again, congrats, Ariel, for being my second millionaire student. I couldn't I couldn't be more happy for you, man. So maybe get some Azul in you tonight, some nice steak. I don't know what you're going to do, but hopefully you enjoy your night, man, because you deserve it. All right. So here's all my trades today, guys. So VIAC, the reason why I like this one is because I'll go back to the yearly. Okay, so I like this big bump up. Then we had a red day here. And then I really like to see kind of a first spike, a downward trend, and then we kind of got like a retest and one more kind of algo sell-off here, and then this perk, and then that perk. Right there was the bullish type setup for me. So have a first perk. Not only is it it's a first perk off the lows, so it's not 52-week lows, but after this huge down sell-off, guys. Massive sell-off, right? Then we had our first strong green day here. Then it was a second green day, but we closed red, okay? And then today I was looking for basically a second leg up if we got kind of the price action that I would have liked. So that's, we had a sell-off, then a rip, then a sell-off, then another sell-off, and we kind of retested these lows but made higher lows. And we called strong volume, made a wick. And then this recovery, and then that recovery was what had me interested, right? And then right up in here, we had another recovery, and this is where I took my long. So you can see VIAC, 41.40. Was it really that bad of an average? No, there's no way. I was getting in and out of it. There. I took all my size was right in here. So I went through this dip a little bit. But again, I had all this volume in here to kind of hold the support line, right? So I wasn't really worried when we sold off. And then we had a nice rip. And I ended up selling. Oh, it's because I rebought back in. Yeah. So I didn't sell out of my 7,000 shares and actually rebought on this dip and tried to get some rip into the close, but we didn't get it. But I actually sold 41.86 and 41.96. And then I still had 7,000 shares left, and I tried to buy some of this dip and then see a rip, but we never got it, so I sold off the rest. For a $23,000 winner to close off the day. DLPN, small little winner, basically looking at TK, T as a sympathy. Just small trade there. SYPR, kind of just not smart. I mean, I tried to take the dip, and this is a fresh name, and we had a big rip on it, so keeping that eye on that Monday, but took a loss there. OCGN, guys. OCGN was kind of frustrating, not gonna lie. So you can see here, and I'm going to be honest, this was a tough spot for me today, and this is what created a little bit more stress than I would have liked. But I will learn from it every single time I learn, right? So I started shorting this thing. I was looking at the yearly, right? And I was like, look, we had a leg, and another leg, right? And so these three legs here, not only had we had a gap, but then we had another run. And not only that, but we were already retesting kind of this middle of this first candle, then the middle of this candle, and then the wicks and the wicks and the wicks of these candles. So there's some high volume over here that's going to create resistance, right? With massive amount of volume, right? So here's some resistance in the 14s and in the 13s. And we just hit that resistance in a matter of 3 days. 1, 2, 3, right? So, and the amount of extension that this thing did, it was about 9 to 1350, all very quickly. So the timing had something to do with it as well, and how fast that it ripped up. And unfortunately, I got short on this thing. Literally, I had 128,500 shares. I saw this, and then as I was seeing this thing perk, I'm like, okay, I got interested right in here. And that's where I made my mistake. And not necessarily a mistake, it's just I knew that this was going to extend a little bit, but I never would have thought it would have extended at 1365. And the amount of volume that was coming through was absolutely insanity. This thing was just churning. How many shares? I bet you this thing traded. I bet you OCGN traded like 2 billion plus today. Where is it at? Where's OCGN at? Come on. Creating too much time. Hold on. How much did it trade today? So we had 400 and basically 500 million shares churning at a price of, jeez. So this thing traded literally 500 million, let's just say, times 5. That's $5 billion. If my math's wrong, I'm sure I'll hear this till the day I die, okay? But hopefully that's right, because if not, I'm sure I'm gonna get a ton of hate on that, along with the charts that I messed up on. But anyways, it's a lot of money, okay? And so, I really thought that, and I've seen this is day 3. I saw the wicks on the yearly. I saw the volume, the amount of volume that was coming through needed to push this thing up, and how fast it had already ripped. I was like, okay. And this is where I ended up with a decent average, a 12.24 average, but I was under the water, guys, on this short, about $150,000, $170,000. And it wasn't fun, but I knew with the amount of volume, amount of extension this thing was getting, it was a parabolic blow off, and I was just going to cover it. Hopefully under 12 was my goal. Okay, under 12, I was literally, this thing was ripping up, and I'm like, okay, this is going to be tough. I don't know how high this is going to go, but under 12 was my goal. Okay, this thing has gone too far, too fast with the amount of resistance and the amount of volume that was coming through. So I was like, this sucks, but I'm going to have to wait and be patient and just not have to worry. And the time was going to come, but it is what it is. So I ended up taking a loser. I had to cover right there. So it was doing a lot of this. It was perking, coming down. Perking, coming down. And I thought this was the kill. When I saw this perk again, I was like, okay, I got to be careful because this thing could very well rip and come straight up through 14s into 15s, right? And so I felt confident right in here. Finally, I was like, okay, it's finally over. And then we ripped right back through it. And I'm like, oh, man. So I just covered it up for a $50,000 loser. And then luckily I re-shorted it because I saw weakness, half size at 1231, 64,000 shares, and covered it up on that washout there. And then this thing had an offering. So it could have been a huge day, but you know what? That you live and you learn, okay? That's the name of the game. BTX was a big trade for me today, and I didn't even hold it that long, but basically I knew that today was a hotter market. I saw things running, and I saw things around me just creating more FOMO and more ripping, and there was a lot of buyers out there today. So I saw it with 4 or 5 or 6 different stocks. Today was the complete change and shift, and I want to explain that before I forget. Anyways, BTX, basically just buying all this consolidation, not worrying about these huge washes, and it's just holding trend, and this is creating what could cause a bigger short squeeze when you see these huge rips and sell-offs and rips and sell-offs. But the moral of the story is here, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. We ripped, and I played it twice. $47,000 winner on the first one, $2,600 winner on the second, $16,000 winner on the third. So played it a couple times. This thing ran all the way to 1887. So, but what I want to say today, and those are my trades. MVIS, nice short on it, a lot of size, but covered it up and took a nice trade on it. But anyways, I want to explain something, guys. Okay? Oh, has my camera not been on me the whole time? Oh, I'm sorry about that. I didn't realize the camera wasn't on me the whole time. Well, it's not like it matters. Oh, okay, there we go. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what happened. Maybe I pushed that up, but I want you guys to take this home going on to the weekend, okay? Today was a different day. It's been at least a couple of weeks, okay, where, we have kind of seen slow action. It's been 10, it's been 20, it's been 30% gappers. The first one that caught my eye, this one I think was a 40% gapper. And I was like, okay, this could very well run. And it did, but it was ugly. And then seeing 4 or 5 other stocks being up 30, 40, 50% today with that kind of price action, I think we're starting to get some momentum back. I think we're starting to kind of turn the page in the slow market. Today marks the first day in a while that I felt a complete shift into the markets where I think we're going to see some fun price action. And next week should be back to not insanely hot. Maybe it's insanely hot, but what I will say is my prediction is we're going to see a lot better price action, a lot more volatile moves, a lot more liquidity, and things like that going into next week because of what I saw today. So I'm going to prepare myself mentally for that over this weekend, and I hope that you guys will as well. If you haven't already, please click subscribe to my YouTube channel. Subscribe to YouTube channel. I really appreciate that. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I would really appreciate that, guys. My course that teaches my processes. Those of you guys who are interested in my course, it's always great to start it on a Friday because you have the whole weekend to study it. So if you're interested, there's that. If you're interested in learning my plan, my process, my strategies. And that was more basically for smaller accounts, growing it into that course is like I still use the same concepts, but it's not all the same. My course is basically to grow small accounts into big accounts. All my entire course is basically 1,000 into the about 4 to 5 million type strategies, and now I'm evolving a little bit, but it's all kind of the same concept, I think, but I could be wrong. It's a great learn. It's about 20 hours of content. Took me over a year and a half to make. Brokers that I use also there as well. Brokers that pays you for 2 free stocks, about $1,400. You can check that out as well. Scan the software I use and codes, all in the links in the description below. I gotta change those links out. I forgot about that. But anyways, guys, you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. Okay, please subscribe to the channel. Click the icon to let me make new videos. You guys enjoy your weekend. Study hard. It's always a fine balance between studying hard and enjoying your weekend. Okay, cheers, team, and go Hawks.